Right, another episode of Hangry Caveman, and today we've got Jason Crowl,
Hey
close
guys.
friend of mine, Chinese medicine practitioner, PT, general nice guy. So, Jason, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad today. I mean, it's just another day, same day, literally.
Oh, man.
Not
So,
that-
for people who's watching this in the future, this is during the lockdown period of 2019, right? COVID-19.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
So we're like, what, third week into this now, are we?
We're on the second week now, aren't we? Of the
I
whole
thought we're coming on to the third week.
third week. Yeah, we're coming on to the third week.
The third week.
I can't remember the days.
It's just
They're going quickly as well, actually.
it's going quick. It's quicker than earlier. Earlier few days, we just, I don't know, panicking, seeing what's happening. I mean, I don't know. For me, it was work panic and financial panic. Now, just what can we do? Nothing you can do right now. So, kind of calm down a little bit. How's it for you?
Saying work panic, financial panic, and or how am I going to build my business back up again? What's it going to be like when we all come back? What am I going to do now for money?
Yeah.
That was all panicking, but then panic gets you nowhere. So
Yeah.
I kind of stopped, and now I'm just kind of thinking, well, what can I do to get more money in? What can I do to promote my business or become a better practitioner? All of that stuff, and also sleeping a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. We don't usually sleep that much anyway, do we?
No, I am fully regenerated.
Yeah.
At least.
You
Getting
know,
all that sleep.
like normally when we're working, we don't really stop until at least 10 o'clock. I mean, by the time we get home, eat, and then just rested and chill out a little bit, we're like at least 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so by the time we've done work, trained our clients, trained ourselves,
Yeah.
done our jiu-jitsu session and everything, it's like, and get home, it's 10 o'clock, and then you're knackered,
Yeah.
and you like kind of pass out, maybe eat something,
Yeah.
and then you just get back up and do it again.
I think it's just this whole PTing and training people in London. But saying that, my friends up here, when they're training people, they're getting up silly early as well, and they're finishing late. The thing is with our travel, isn't it?
Yeah,
Traveling out on the tube, that takes its time and takes its toll, man.
traveling on the tube, then you have to wait around if you haven't got your client. You're pretty good because you stack your clients.
Yeah.
You're really good at that. But if
quite
you
lucky with my
can't
job,
stack your
yeah.
clients around in between,
Yeah.
it's madness, really. The hours, because you're not doing so. Even though the hours are short, really you're hanging around because you're doing your morning shift, your afternoon, and then your night shift when everyone's not working.
I mean, you probably can't remember back in the old days. Remember back in the LA days, there's a guy called Steve Timmerman. He stacked his back to back to back. I mean, he's one guy who managed to do it well back in the old days. I mean, comes in early, back to back, lunchtime-ish, does his own training and gets to go home. So
Yeah,
it can be done. It just takes a lot longer. But the times is changing the game, man. Back then, man, I don't know.
yeah. I feel it was because you could walk. It depends on what gym you're at as well. But like when we was at LA Fitness, you could walk the gym floor. It didn't seem like the gym was as saturated with as many PTs.
Yeah.
And rent was cheaper. So I think if you're working at like a Fitness First or an LA now, well, Pure now, you're looking at like, I think it's like 1,200, 1,300 rent. That's madness.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially from like a junior perspective. A junior PT going in there.
Yeah, how you gonna start? And then you work for a gym like Nuffield, you're getting almost nothing, even though they're charging a high price.
This is what people are so surprised of, When I talk to people about being a PT, and then they really, why don't you work for like Nuffield? They charge them out X, Y, and Z. I'm like, yeah, but how much do you think the PTs are getting? I mean, yes, it's better than working at McDonald's, but come on, this is
maybe £10 that, £12.
man, yeah, I mean, I think what they call the master trainer, the top end trainers are getting like 14, 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's
That's
nice.
one. Imagine that
What
with London travel costs and everything else on top. That's
yeah, it's crazy.
crazy.
And you're not getting a wage from them. You still have to get your own clients.
Yeah, I don't know. I think some gyms are starting to do
A wage.
sort of wage with a minimum time, like however many hours you're going to work for them, some sort of scenario. But it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we're in an industry where underappreciated, not just generally from people who's not in it. Your clients, other people's clients I see just really underappreciate what our friends, some of our mutual friends does for them. Then you think, and then, well, for especially like me and you've been through like the days of LA when we get, man, they don't even hear anymore. Well, we got ripped off so bad back then, but it was fun time and getting ripped off at the same time.
It was a good crowd of PTs. That's why it was a fun time. It'll never be another.
I think we were really lucky. You know, we talked about this before. The people we used to work with, we were fun, man. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, imagine a few assholes just coming in and just rotting them apples in. But
yeah, I mean, so when I joined, it was good, and I think the good times had started to slowly start to end. But it was good when I joined. But I thought every gym was like that because that was my first gym. And when I started speaking to other PTs, they're like, no, it's competitive, stab each other in the back. People are trying to steal people's clients. We had a little bit of that, but then whoever tried to do
that just got taken out straight away. I mean, within a week or 2 weeks, as soon as all the PT found out, that was stamped out.
Definitely. So yeah, it's different now. I mean, where we're working now is still it's like a really good environment.
Yeah, man.
To be fair, again, I think we're lucky because I think it's a unique gym environment where we're working now. Again, but it's not like the LA Fitness and Nuffields. And what I'm surprised about as well is when I speak to people, they feel that Nuffield, it's like you just said, they feel like a Nuffield or LA Fitness as a PT, you're going up a level. I'm like, no, that's you going down a level.
Yeah.
But the public perception is, if you work for one of those gyms, you must be a really good PT. When the truth is, work for a studio, you're a really good PT. Or you work for like not a big name gym, you're a really good PT because of you're not doing the standard stuff. So what happens when you go to your Nuffields, or not every PT, but you get the generic training.
Yeah.
You know, put your toes up. But why are they saying it? They don't really know why they're saying it. They're just going through the points to help people with a squat or something.
I mean, the thing is, we all been to that stage, haven't we? I mean, we've got to choose carefully now. We all been there, but at the same time, the difference between a good PT and your mediocre average PT who just came in the game thinking they can just train people is it's the willingness to learn more skills to adapt to your clients, right? I mean, I made silly program mistakes in my time. I mean, I'm going to be the first to put my hand up, but I know now, going back, I wouldn't have done the same thing. But at the same time, that's all I knew back then. You know? Yeah,
and that's why we were looking at gyms like that, because that's all we knew. But then what you have is, you have some PTs that get into a gym like that. They feel like they don't need to educate themselves anymore because for some reason they feel this 6-week course that we all do has given them all the information they ever need.
Yeah.
When you see them making silly mistakes, and then when you try and confront or help them about it, they're like, no, that's how I want to do it.
Yeah,
they don't want to.
You just got to let them take their own education in their own hand right now. I mean,
yeah, exactly. But then, I mean, then you get to the point of if you're a good PT, will you be a successful PT? Not necessarily.
No.
If you're a good salesman, will you be a?
And we know a couple of good salesmen. They're probably Well, one of them, I know one of them. Well, I'm not going to name it, but like he's still around. And I see him doing social media, being on magazines, and being on this kind of channel, being like some top guys who are doing interviews with this guy, right? And I know deep down, I wouldn't trust anything that comes out of his mouth or any part of training. There's like, there's people who don't know. This is one thing we always have to talk about. It's a saying almost. I mean, I would not let them train my mom or any close friend of mine. That's pretty much it. You just don't trust him or her, right? But this person, man, he's like one of the best salesmen. He packaged himself and he comes across as really knowledgeable, but like deep down, it's really ugly, man. It's really ugly. It's a dirty industry. I always said this is a very, very dirty industry. But this is the angry side. The angry side coming out now.
You're selling a promise to someone that you can't fulfill.
Yeah.
And that's why you get a lot of PTs that are underappreciated, or people are like, "Well, I think you're a bit expensive," and you go back to the fact. Well, how much would you pay a plastic surgeon to change your body?
Yeah, man. Because I mean, people always want the easy way out. Remember.
Yeah.
One of the clients, me and Alex. Alex is a mutual friend of ours. We had a client. Remember at the old place? So back at the old studio, we shared a client, and then the guy who wanted plastic surgery, you know who I'm on about now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we always have this discussion about, he wanted liposuction, he wanted this. I'm like, man, there's more complication in the future. Just because you have liposuction, you might look good now, but there's so much more complication to it. People who want the easier way out of it. If money wasn't a problem for it, like this guy, like money wasn't his priority. Looking good was his priority. But
it's a temporary fix.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, if you're in a job and it's taking up all your time, you're going to find it hard to get the training in. You're going to think, "Oh, I'm not happy with my body. How am I going to look good?"
Yeah.
You know, it's like you got to have two sides. Sometimes people just can't. So, like when I was a student, I was doing my training, but I found it very hard to get it in.
Man, like what? As in previously when you were doing your Chinese medicine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those days were tough for you, man. I remember like going through them days. Like you looked sad and tired all the time.
I was. That's exactly what I was.
Sad and tired all the time, man.
I was actually talking to my colleagues yesterday. Like we all like speaking on Zoom, and we were talking, and I said, "Do you know what? I'm so happy I passed my course, because if I was doing it again this time, or doing it this time this year, with all of this COVID-19 going on, not knowing what's going, because at this stage you're running on empty.
Yeah.
Like you're at the end of your year, you're running on empty, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
These guys, I feel so sorry for them, because now the light at the end of the tunnel's been cut off. They don't know what's going to go on.
Oh, it's even worse for all these juniors coming out now, man. I mean,
it's horrible. So I'm so happy I passed that. I don't think I'd be able to handle the worry and the stress.
I mean, like when you started, we were just coming out of recession. I mean, so me and Jason, let's go back a little bit previously. When we met was back in the LA days, right?
Yeah.
And I think, like you mentioned, it was the tail end of the happy hour for all the PTing.
Yeah.
I think I was one of the last PTs going in there and being able to survive and picking up some new clients. Back then, I think you and Jerry came in around the same time. Jerry's another mutual friend of ours, right? You guys came in around the same time. But during then, I mean, we had a lot of junior PTs coming in and out of that London Wall branch.
Yeah. They were just like, pile as many as you can in. Just get as many as you can in.
They were just getting as many as they can. I mean, I remember talking to people who used to run LA. For the gym that we were in, they wanted like 40-something PTs in there. And I think I was supposed to be the last in there, right? And I think I was on like number 24, and they wanted 40-something, so they wanted double the amount of PT in there. And we were paying like over, I can't remember the exact number, but we were paying way over £1,000 rent easily back then.
Yeah, 1,100 we were paying then, like that. But I just remember, so this is how bad it is. You know, I'm there, I'm signing up, and they're going, I'm around about Christmas time. They say, well, maybe you want to sign up just before Christmas or around Christmas time, because then, even though
this is when you sign your contract to come in as a PT, right? Yeah. Let's make it clear. It's not signing up new clients. It's signing you up as a new PT just before Christmas.
Yeah, right? Just before Christmas, because they're like, then you'll get a head start on every other PT there, and you'll get used to it. And I was thinking about it, and luckily I had a friend that was already a PT, and he was working another, and he said, absolutely not. That's like a crock of
suicide. Full suicide.
Yeah, don't do it. You're just going to end up wasting your money, and that's a month that you can't gain back. You're not going to get anyone. And he said, in fact, you won't get anyone after that straight away either. So I was like, no, but they tried to get me in, so they didn't care. They were just like,
they have no morals, man. I mean, that whole thing was just like, well, let's do the basic maths, right? So let's start with it. So what was it? Half price rent for the first month, right?
Yeah, first 3 months were half.
First month was half price. A month 2, you had to pay what, 75%. Let's call it £1,000. Let's round it off to £1,000, right? So first month was 500 quid. Second month was 750, and by third month you're on full rent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like what?
It was that, or you could work for them with the purple top.
Oh yeah.
They'd do the 500 for the first 3 months, but after that, you have no choice but to
go up.
Go up
to full rent, right? But what they don't tell you, remember, Liz, I got stung big time. I mean, that stupid business course that they make you do, and they charge you for that.
Yeah.
It was like, what, 350 or 250? I can't remember now, man. Like, they charge an extra 250 or 350 to do a business course.
But you have to do it, though.
And you have to do it. And then...
You don't have...
Oh, man. This gets me pissed. This gets me pissed off. Well. Thinking about it. Remember, say that again, sorry, buddy.
Then you have to buy the uniform on top of that as well.
The uniform. Man, the uniform stung me as well. They told me we were meant to be given uniform. So, well, this is for another time, but long story short, I had no money for that uniform. And they had to sting me. I was like, man, I was so pissed that day. And I had to do this stupid business course. And I couldn't start work.
Also, so remember the staff room, there was loads of problems with the staff room. It was dirty.
So, no doubt. Hold on, before we go back to the staff room. So that's, per every new junior PT that comes through the door, if they make it or not make it, they're going to take $2,500 off them. Right?
Yeah.
$2,500
after you've done your $3,000 course.
After you've done your $3,000 course, paying for your business course, paying for your uniform, that's $3,000 plus your $2,500 for your 3 months of trying to make it as a PT, right? And then however much you spent on getting to become a PT, that's like $6,500, $7,000 easy.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive,
man,
to get into. And even when you get into it, there's no real help. So I was lucky when I started. You were there.
This Hangry Caveman show. This is going to start now. This is where the hangry stuff is going to get out now, man.
Could help me along. I was like, oh, what do I do? I'm stuck here. I was lucky I was there. If you're thrown into a gym with adults that no one wants to help anyone and keep their secret, you're screwed. What are you going to do?
Nothing, man. I mean, this is why I got so pissed off with one of the PTs. So with most gyms, we know there's going to be like dirty playing games. People are going to be like buying contacts. People who don't know gym business or they don't know about PT and business, right? The sales guys, they're all dirty. Not all, but like most of them are dirty.
Yeah, there will be
that place is definitely dirty salesmen, man. So
what they'll do is they'll give you a lead. They'll give you a lead saying, "No, I'll help you. I'll give you a lead." But what they're really doing is say sorry because they messed up with one of the members, and it's a sorry. So that lead isn't a lead.
That's not a
lead. That's
the way.
They don't even tell you that.
No, but it gets to a point where the genuine people, the genuine inquiries, the salespeople will know who they are. So what happens is certain PT who are better, well, financially better off can afford to pay for these leads, and they do,
Yeah.
right? And it happens way too often. And we know from back in them days, I mean, there's one or two people who consistently getting legit leads.
Yeah, you got that. Then you got the undercutting as well between the PTs.
No, but the undercutting, man, it gets to a point you're like, you know what, you do your thing. It's like, it's almost hilarious.
Yeah.
We're charging him back then as a junior price, and you're going to undercut that even more. There's no chance of you ever making it through the third month.
Yeah, because back then, the cheapest was really, you couldn't go any lower than 45.
Yeah, 45 was gentleman's agreement, wasn't it?
Yeah. And 45, to undercut 45, people would be doing like 25 and stuff like that.
And I remember that one guy, you probably remember when I say, that one guy was doing like 20 sessions for 200 quid. So it's doing £10 a session.
Yeah.
Man, that was crazy, man. I mean.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So you had that, and it was just, those were good days, but the actual, I don't know, I don't think the gym industry has changed that much.
Oh,
I'm not too sure because I haven't worked in it. I don't work in it.
No,
we don't work there anymore.
Quite lucky. We kind of moved on from the commercial gym side.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's changed that much. I doubt it.
Yeah.
There's always going to have your fads and your classes. But
the thing is, this lead generation on selling leads, this will always go on.
Yeah.
People will always do it. But my problem with it back then was they were keep feeding you guys, like new PTs coming into the workplace, but they weren't helping you guys. They want the money off you guys, but they weren't helping you.
There's no real help.
There's no help. I mean, like, oh yeah, come and check on you once a week. Well, same as last week. Nothing else is going to change, not unless you get new members. I mean, you genuinely give me convertible leads. Okay, cool. But
yeah,
how are you new?
Hard work. You've got to walk that gym floor. You can't be sold the dream that it's easy work. You've got to be. You're doing 12-hour shifts just to get the clients.
Easy 12-hour shifts, man.
Yeah.
Way more than 12-hour shifts. I remember when I started, and I was definitely at the door before the doors open. I was definitely there when it's closing time. And that happens for a good year.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do when you're in those kind of gyms. Now, I mean, I think they put the price up of the gyms. So, you know, like the average PT won't charge 45 anymore. I think it'll be like 50, 55 maybe.
Yeah.
In those gyms. But then I don't know. It's like there's a lot of improvement that could be done. I think there should be some regulation put on PTing.
Yeah, so I mean, later on I'll get on another friend of mine. You know who it is. I mean, Jamie. He's obsessed about this, the quality of PT and the standard of PT. I mean, we talk about it ourselves, but this guy goes on the next level, man. But we'll talk about it another time. But I think that will happen. And we've said this for a long, long time, man. I mean, something bad is going to happen until they make certain changes in our industry. There's some of the stuff we see PT doing with the clients is just like horrible, and it's
like, so what's happening is this an exercise is taken out of context. So, you know, like how I train people, I get them to do very weird movements sometimes, which would actually put their body in danger if they were doing really heavy weights and stuff, you know, like a piston squat, or if I get them to do a sissy squat and I'll get them to use loads of weights and they haven't trained that way before, that'll put their body in danger. But I'm not doing that with my clients. They're learning from body weight movement. And then if they're bossing it and they're getting a lot stronger, we'll add a light weight, a 2.5.
So let's clarify, the pistol squat is when you start doing your single leg with leg in front and
going down. The sissy squat is when you're on your tiptoes and your knees are way in front of your toes and you're leaning back. Yeah. And you know, people say, "Oh, you're putting your, you know, you have to have your knees behind your toes."
Well.
Oh, I'm a believer of knees over the toes, because if you train it, it's okay. So if I change someone's squat because they've been squatting and their knees are behind their toes all the time, I go, "Oh, you need to go a bit further." I will say to them, we're not going to do what you're doing now. So if you're doing 100 kg now, we're not going to do that now. We're going to like do maybe 30 and then build it up, because you're going to go into a little bit of extra range that you've never trained.
That's part of that's our industry. Everyone's an expert. Everyone's like a specialist. No, you're not. You're just somebody with an idea. All right. It really pisses me off when you see people just chatting shit about, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, okay, why? And they can't explain it to you. You can't say, oh, well, I got bad knees from doing it. Well, you got bad knees from doing it in bad form. That's not because you're squatting. That's because you sat for like 20 or 30 years of your life on your ass and not trained. And what did you expect?
Yeah.
You had an accident.
They'll quote someone to you saying, he says this. For example, I don't know, they might quote,
Mr. X and Mr. C said they can't do this. Right.
Yeah. He said he can't do it. What's his qualifications?
Yeah.
Like,
but at the same time, we've gone through this as well. Does your qualification equals you more knowledge, though?
No, it doesn't equal your more knowledge. But also, I don't believe you should be quoting someone like a Bible.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I'm not. Why is he commenting on that subject?
Yeah.
Why is there a personal trainer commenting on DNA and then you're quoting that personal trainer to me? Have you done any research on it? Go and do some research and then tell me what you know.
I think next time when we talk about this, we need to get Jamie on the show. I mean, he goes off on another level of this. I mean, we agree what we're saying, but he goes off on a different level.
Yeah, I think, look, I don't think your qualifications are everything, nor all.
No.
And people are right to quote, but there isn't one size fits all.
No, exactly.
That's the thing. That's the personal part of personal training. If one size fitted all, you wouldn't need personal training. You'd be like, yeah, you could just do this. Sometimes people do need to keep their knees behind their feet if you want to change certain things for their body type or for any weaknesses they have in their body. I mean, sometimes you want it to go past the feet because they're not mobile enough. They've got no ankle mobility. It goes either way. That's the personal part of personal training. So when someone says, yeah, you should never do this, it's like, why? Why should you never do that? Hang on a minute. When you walk, do you think that your knees don't go over your toes? When you're running, do you think your knees don't go over your toes? It's stuff like that.
No, but people don't think like that, though, do they? The people just see what they see on YouTube and other people are doing, and then they quote it like they're Jesus and giving out the ultimate gospel of how to do this and how to do that. I mean,
but it's also, I get it. When you learn a bit of new information, you want to apply it to everything.
Yeah, but you try it, you apply it, but you don't. That doesn't become set in stone. That's the only way of doing it.
Yeah, that's very true. It's very true.
That's a lot of. That's what happens in our industry, man.
I know. I think like even me and you have had differences in what we say technique you should do.
Basic thing. I mean, like me and you have differences on squat techniques, man.
Yeah.
Like, okay, for people who don't know, our breathing cycles are different, right? So when I breathe in to stabilize myself before my squat, and how you breathe to stabilize yourself before you squat are completely different.
Yeah, two different ways. Two completely different ways.
But, we have to respect each other's ways of teaching things. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong, it's just different ways of doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Ways.
Yeah. But a lot of our industries just don't accept anything apart from their own.
Yeah, they think their own way is the best. And that's when you end up getting into arguments, and everything with people because you're not prepared to listen to them.
Yeah.
Even I've got, my philosophy is, even if there's someone that I don't particularly think is the best trainer in the world or is a bit shit, I'll still listen to them because they will have that one golden nugget.
Yeah.
That could be useful to me. They're still going to have useful information. They still would have probably caught something. So I'll still listen, and then I'll think to myself, it's up to me to whether I agree or want to apply it. I'm not going to tell them they're wrong.
Well, that's it. That goes back to the whole, right, big fan of Bruce Lee, so this is where it's coming from. Taking what's useful and just disregard what's not. If the guy's got 110 thing that they're talking crap about, but there's one good thing out of it, you learn that one good thing and leave the 100 crap out of it.
Exactly.
But people don't.
That's what you got. That's what you got to do. And actually, that is the philosophy of Chinese medicine, man. There's so many different modalities, and you literally have to keep on thinking of all the different ones.
Yeah.
And when you're diagnosed, you're like, okay, I'm going to use this modality because this is going to suit this situation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't work.
Man, it's learning new things, right? It's learning new things. Right.
Exactly. To be happy to continuously learn. When I left school, I thought I was going to leave school and I was never going to have to learn again.
Yeah.
Fact of the matter is, I have never stopped learning, and I started having to learn even more when I left school. Because of you're never going to stop learning. If you want to improve yourself, you need the information.
That's it. At school I wasn't interested, man. This is the only time I actually this sounds pretty bad, but I think this industry changed me. This is the only time I actually want to learn more and actually gain more information. They keep learning and keep something new. Before at school, man, and all this, didn't work for me, man. Yeah,
same here as well. This industry has made me want to learn more and more and stick with the same thing. So I've changed, as you know. I'll tell the guys that I've been a chef, I've been a mechanic, I've done patient transport. I've switched a few jobs, but this PTing job I've stuck with because I'm really interested in it. And doing Chinese medicine, I see as an evolution of my job.
Yeah.
Because I help people with injuries. So every part of this job is, I'm like, oh, how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to go and study it. I'm going to do something. And I'm going to work out how I can help with that problem. You have to find what kind of direction you want to go in. You have to find, because it's such a big industry.
Yeah.
I've gone into the more rehabilitation direction. You've gone into.
Is that the reason why you started doing Chinese medicine then? Is that how you started going into it? Is that the main reason?
Yes, one of the main reasons is for rehabilitation. I saw what it was like, how it could help my mum and my little sister.
Okay. For people who don't know, do you want to explain what's happened with your sister?
My little sister, she had cancer when she was 17, lymph node cancer. But she was actually getting over that. That wasn't the problem. The problem was the drugs that they gave her a reaction, an allergic reaction of the body where her body just completely shut down. So she couldn't breathe, she couldn't talk, she couldn't walk, and she had to learn everything all over again. She had to go to a speech therapist. She had to learn how to walk again. They said, you're going to be in a wheelchair forever. She was like, no, I'm not. And she literally got out of the wheelchair and was like, I'm going to take at least one step. And so now she's walking, like she's talking and walking again, but she can't run and she doesn't have full movement of her body like we would, or full control of her body like we would. Then she's been to various different doctors and physios, and they've all helped her.
Yeah. And
she's got acupuncture done, which has helped her quite a lot. And how I got into acupuncture was because my mum was seeing an acupuncturist, who Charlotte was seeing as well. There was always at LA Fitness, and I remember I couldn't grip any weights or anything.
Yeah.
And was really weak, and no one could really work it out. And some people's suggestions were, "Oh, quit your job." I'm like, I love my job, I can't really quit it. I went to this Chinese medicine doctor, and within one treatment, my grip had improved. I went to see him twice, but within one treatment, he had cured the problem. And I was like, I want to learn what this guy can do. I want to learn what he knows. And that was in my head, but that was just the thought. I was like, I'm still going to be a PT. I'm still going to do this. And I think it was about 2 years after that, I was like, actually, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a degree in it, and I'm going to try and study it. And then I just saw it as a natural progression from being a personal trainer going into a more rehab and prehabbing side of stuff. And that's why I originally got into it. But what I didn't know, so I went in there being very arrogant, going, I'm going to forget about all the superstition stuff, forget about the chi, forget about all the blood and fluids, Chinese medicine, blood and fluids, forget all about that. So I just want to know where to put the needle in that particular muscle to activate it. That's all I need to know. That's the science behind it. When I went on the course and I started to learn and see what you can actually do, how you can manipulate the body, how you can help people emotionally, how you can help someone who is constipated, who's diabetic, who like loads of elements that are to it, that you can just help with loads of stuff. You can help with women's menstrual cycles if it's really painful all the time. That's one of the easiest things to get rid of with acupuncture.
See, that's the thing, though, right? I grew up with all these Chinese medicine, all these needling and herb thing, right? When you talked about it with me, I mean, like, okay, I understand it up to a certain level, but can you imagine if, I don't know, a typical Westerner questioning how could a single needle or a single few points going to make so much difference in a human body? I mean, can we quickly explain how? I mean, I kind of have an idea, but I can't really explain it well enough.
So points are, so you've got acupuncture points. And in Chinese medicine, they're kind of known as the kind of called ditches, or the spaces in between the skin and the muscle and stuff. And these are points where energy kind of gathers. So different points have different functions, and they can be different, like have different powers as well. So
right.
One point can be a lot more powerful than another point. And when you have a meridian, it's just a gathering of points along a certain trajectory. Right. So for example, the small intestine meridian starts here and the trajectory goes along here. It goes all the way down. Here, it'll go up and back. Those points work along they work along the same meridian and have an effect on the same organ. But they can also have an effect on other organs as well. The reason for this is because of when you look at meridians, you have to think of it, they're not just single lines, because you have little meshes of meridians as well, so they're all joining.
Okay.
So you can actually, and that's why you can actually affect, so if I needle the small intestine meridian, I can actually affect maybe the bladder meridian, because they join together. And so that's how points work. And also you learn them. So there's 365 points, standard points. So there's extra ones you have to learn, but 365.
Yeah.
And you learn them. And some of these points, like the point on the back of the knee. So there's a point on the back of the knee, just in between the knee crease, and that helps with lower back pain. How does that work? Because the people are like, when you think about Western medicine, they're saying it's local, you put a needle in it, it helps locally. And it's like, that can do, but how does a needle at the bottom of the knee work? Which it can work. How does that work? Well, that works because basically the bladder meridian goes all the way up the back. So the point is just connected to meridian. And what meridians are and points are, they're like gathering of chi, fluid, and blood.
By chi, you mean Western would look at it as an energy flow, right?
You can look at it as an energy flow, but that's simplified. That's so simplified. So because of you've got loads of different kinds of chi, yeah? So for example, you have you've got gu chi, that's like food chi, yeah? You have yuan chi, that's like the chi you're born with, like your kind of your blueprint.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got yin chi, that's like nutrient chi. You've got wei chi, that's defensive chi. In a way, you want to kind of think of that as the white blood cells. Yeah. If you don't really want to make too many correspondences from Eastern to Western. Okay. But so if we think about chi, it can be anything. You've got evil chi. That's like cold, wind's chi, like cold chi, water chi. So it's used to describe the energetics of anything. I could even say, this is chi, this is metal chi. It's a way to describe something. So you're going to go into the ways of describing particles and stuff like that. It's really hard to translate over. Yeah. But so when we're talking about chi that's flowing in the meridians, it's a certain type of chi. And then each organ has their own chi. So the liver, you've got liver chi, because it's personalised to that piece of, that object, that person, the animal is personalised to that. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about chi. When we're talking about blood, it's not like the blood that we think of. It is, and it's not like the blood that we think of, which is when you cut yourself, it bleeds. It's a different type of blood. It's like it warms the body. Blood, it's not created by the heart or anything like that. Neither is it in Western medicine. But what it is like blood's made from food and stuff like that. So it's made from the spleen. That's a part of it. And the kidneys is another part of it. Loads of organs interjoin to make it. Where in Western medicine, blood just comes from the bone marrow. Right. So it's a bit different. But then that's the kind of stuff you're working with. So when you're learning this, you have to have a blank slate. Yeah. So you can't really compare. But that's the stuff you're working with, and then that's how you can affect someone with, it's not just musculoskeletal. You know, if you want to solve someone's menstrual cycle because it's painful, you help build blood, but you help build blood through fluid. So I'm needling the small intestine, I'm needling the stomach meridian, as well, because of those are points that will help with building. You know, I've built blood on you before when you've had problems sleeping.
Yeah, man.
Because of
when it works quick, it works really quick, man. I mean, when you get the right point,
you get the right point, it works well. And I personally think acupuncture can solve a lot of things. And if someone says, "Oh, acupuncture didn't work for that," I'm like, no, the practitioner didn't work for that.
Right.
The practitioner didn't understand it properly. That's including me as well.
Yeah,
I didn't understand it properly. That's probably why it didn't work.
Well, it's down to experience and knowledge, man. It's the same as any industry. I mean,
exactly.
It's like people saying, "Oh, PT doesn't work." Well, no, it's just maybe the PT you're using, they got the knowledge to do it, or he hasn't got.
He doesn't know, or doesn't have knowledge.
You know what you know, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it's a powerful thing. Chinese medicine is powerful, and even so, get this right. So the stuff I learned was it was TCM, but it was also classical Chinese medicine, which is actually older than traditional Chinese medicine. I've told you this before, I think.
Yeah. So explain to people what's the difference between the Chinese medicine and the traditional classic.
All right. So traditional Chinese medicine, you go to college, you learn it, but you're just learning formulas. You're learning points, you're learning exactly, and you're just learning formulas of points. So, for example, to get rid of, like, I'm just going to make some points up. If you wanted to get rid of a headache, you'd be like stomach ache, and then ladder 21 will sort that out. That's not a formula, but that's like, those are formulas of points that you remember. Classical medicine is based on these people that are true classical practitioners. They study the Neijing, Nanjing, which these are classic books that were like, they're thousands of years old, which TCM is based on. And they study this, and they understand the points more, and they read what the book says. So and the book is very like, you can interpret it in very many ways. It will go, if you have a certain problem, like they'll say, if you have wind cold or blockage, you want to needle the Jingwell points. They would say something like that. Jingwell points are the points that are like at the end of the finger, but there's loads of them. So they say stuff like that. And it's like, it's a lot older, but also when you go to classics, we go on. So my college I went to, which I had no idea it done this. I just went to this college by pure luck. Yeah. They do stems and branches, which is based on the person's constitution. So it's based on when they're born, what time they're born, all stuff like that. And then they have certain meridians that you're not allowed to needle. So actually, there's a lot of people, and you'll be like, and you can use it. So you'll be like, why am I needling this meridian? Why am I needling these points? It's not working on them. If you look at their constitution, you're not meant to be needling that meridian. Also, what's really interesting about it is that you can tell, you can kind of predict what the weather's going to be like for that year.
Really?
And it'll be, yes, it'll be like it's going to be a cold summer. Okay. Also, on these calendars, there's things circled. It's going to say there's going to be like a pandemic and stuff like that. And if I remember correctly, we done 2020, and it said that there was going to be some kind of evil chi, or like,
this year of the rat. This is what I said to my dad. All these plague crap coming into year 2020. As soon as it turned, we're in shit.
These calendars, right? So, and when I started, so you learn all you do in the first years, and then you learn this as well in the third year. I started doing it. I was like, yeah, right. But when you start learning it and you actually apply, you're like, actually, there's something to this. Yeah. But it goes so deep. It's like you need another 2 to 3 years really just to study it.
Yeah. It
goes so deep. So I don't particularly use it as much. But that was another thing I was thinking about today, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could kind of predict certain things. Yeah, and they do that so these guys have studied for like stars and stuff for years. But what they do is they go to their students. This is the information that I've done. You need to carry on logging. You need to carry on logging. So it's like thousands of years logging the alignment of the planets and how that will help. But then that's when you kind of go into more the like ethereal side of acupuncture more than just the formulas, which is TCM. Yeah. But when you get a lot of TCM practitioners, one, they get bored because they're banging out the same formulas day in, day out. Yeah. Secondly, they'll get stuck because they don't really know what else they could do when the formula's not working. Yeah. And thirdly, so my college is like heavy, like you learn all 365 points in. You have to learn the extras. You learn the divergent meridians, the Lao meridians. You learn the Luau meridians. You learn all of that. Yeah. But we were talking. Apparently, there's a college out there that will like teach you half of the points that you need to know. So you won't even know all the points. So they're like armed halfway through.
I mean, like Chinese medicine's very deep in history. I mean,
just to learn it, like you're never. So I know people say you never stop learning, like PT, you never stop learning, but you're never going to stop learning. You're always going to feel like you don't really know. Yeah, it's mad because there's so much information and you're using needles, and it's very hard to scientifically prove. Yeah. Thing. So you're always going to feel like, you're doing it. Even when I still needle people, yeah, I'm still amazed with my results. I'm like, oh, this should do this and that, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah. I got rid of someone's back pain since he had back pain when he was 14. Yeah. He was at our gym, so he was doing boxing and stuff, but he had back pain since he was 14. He's my age, 33, and he's had it since he's 14. He says, I've been to loads of people, I can't get rid of it. And when it happens, so it's not constant, it's chronic, because he's had it for ages. It's not constant. When it happens, he says, I can't walk, I can't go to work. And what can you do for me? I took his pulse, as you know I do. Yeah. And so for people that don't know, when I'm taking the pulse, I'm taking 12 different pulses on the wrist, and I am kind of measuring the size of the pulse, speed, the quality of it. Is it tight? Yeah. Is it thin? Is it like choppy or slippery? Imagine all that.
I think for people like me who grew up with this, it's a very normal thing, taking pulse. You see it, I don't know, like back in the old days, like when we was a kid, you used to walk down the street, you used to be like Chinese medicine shops and medicine shops. You see guys sitting outside getting the pulse taken. Or you watch like old school Kung Fu film, there'll be some sort of doctor taking pulse and reading the pulse. This is where it comes from. But it sounds weird. It must sound really weird for like somebody who's not into this, taking pulse and how it can link to everything else.
Yeah, whenever I get a new client, I can see him looking at me. First thing a lot of people say to me is like, "Oh, can't find the pulse," because obviously with my fingers, I'm doing this all the time. So they think I'm looking for a pulse. I'm like, I found it. I found 3 of them already. But they're like, you can't find it, and they don't like, so they find it hard to understand. But with this guy, I was like, I said, is there something wrong with your kidney pulse? Actually, he was like, yeah, I've got a kidney disease. There's also something wrong with your stomach pulse. Yeah. So I worked on his kidney and I worked on his stomach. I worked on his the stomach meridian. Yeah. For everyone that know, it starts from the foot and it goes various places. Yeah. It actually goes on the front of the body. It doesn't go along the back of the body. And it goes along here, and it goes along.
So where Jason is pointing now is like on the side of his thigh, on the outside of your thigh, right?
Yeah, the outside, so the quadriceps. Right. Yeah. So it goes along there, and basically, I was like, there's something wrong with your stomach pulse. I can feel it. I'm gonna just palpate the meridian, and as I pushed down the meridian, every time I pushed, it was like jumping. It was jumping. I was like, okay, we're gonna unblock your meridian. You got a blockage there. I unblocked it. After 6 weeks of treatment, he was like, yeah, I'm good. No more pain.
That's great, man.
He hasn't come back to see me. And that's what I mean by how it's like, if this guy's got back pain and I'm treating the quad, how does that work? I mean, you can always explain it, but going, he had tight quadriceps, so that was pulling down, and then his back overcompensate. But, and actually I was surprised that no one else treated that, to be fair. Like a physio or whoever we want to see should have thought about treating the quads.
And they are, like I say, man, there's hairdressers and there's hairdressers, man.
Yeah.
Not all physios are physio, and not all PTs are PTs.
That's true, but that's like a basic thing, if you're back's hurting. But yeah, I treated that. I think what it was is a lot of people were thrown off by, he said he smashed his pelvis. And so he was like, I smashed my pelvis when I was younger, I've had this accident, I've got back pain. But when I palpated his back, I was like, your back's better than mine.
Yeah.
You don't, it's not your back's not causing the problem.
Well, it goes back to that analogy. Just because your light bulb's gone out doesn't mean it's a light bulb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
People don't look at it. People always. So some of the stuff I do is similar to you. Just because that's where the pain or the issue is, doesn't mean that location is the direct cause of your issue.
Yeah, exactly right. It doesn't, because I think people think about the body as in sections, but as we know, your body's one whole thing. There's no section, and that's what. And some people would say that when I first started, your body's all one. I'll be like, what do they mean? The body's all one. And then what's that about? But now I'm like, yeah,
it is.
It's all one. So if you want to get rid of a problem, like someone who's got pain, you don't say to them, oh, you got knee pain. You don't say, oh, just work your leg like this and the knee pain will go. You got to get them standing and doing some kind of 3D movements in all directions, you know, because what do they do when they have the knee? And you have to ask them, where do you have your knee pain? When do you have your knee pain? Is it when you're sitting down or is it when you're walking? If they've got knee pain when they're walking, why the hell have you got them sitting down, extending and flexing their knee?
Yeah, we talked about this. Like, so by extending these, you mean doing typical gym leg extensions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. That's what I mean. Why have you got them doing that? Why don't you have them doing squats? Why don't you have them doing lunges?
Because your knee might go out of line.
But the problem is they've got this knee pain because their knee is already going out of a line when they're walking, because that's how the body's built. So surely you want to train it in that range.
No, but what happened? Yeah, but their quadriceps are very weak. Hence why we're trying to strengthen the quads for them.
Yeah, you do that with polyquid squat.
Yeah.
So
people always find an argument point.
Yeah.
When they have limited knowledge or limited experience with it, then they always find a way to argue with you. But I can understand why they're trying to make an argument out of it, but sometimes it's very simple. You just try the simplest thing. Just try a bodyweight squat, or just try and move and just free it. It's like a car's been sitting for, I don't know, like for car guys and friends. Like this shows what goes to car people as well. It's like a car just sitting around for years, and then you suddenly start it, and then you expect the car to run super smooth afterwards. No, man. What the hell did you expect? You sat on your ass for years, and now you expect to perform like it's supposed to. No, it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how people feel about their body. So I'd get people in when I was doing acupuncture at my college.
Yeah.
And, there'd be some bigger people. They'd be heavy. They'd be bloated. They feel like tired all the time, lethargic. I'll give them a treatment. They go, I feel a bit better. And I'm like, really, what you need to do is move. I can give you all the treatments in the world.
Yeah.
But what you really need to do is
movement is the cure for a lot of things, man. And
the funny thing is, I don't get those treatments at our gym because everyone's moving.
Yeah.
Constantly, I get a different set of problems.
So for people who don't know, the gym that we're currently working out of, it's a fight gym, right? It's a fight training gym with a lot of really cool strength and conditioning gear, really well set up gym. And it's not commercial. Well, I wouldn't call it a full-on commercial gym, but it is a general population gym. It's not full of meter, not full of idiots, and it's really nice gym to work out of.
Yes, really nice gym to work.
Yeah. But the people, like you said, people who go down there are the backbone. It's based in the city, and I think it's one of them gym people who will seek out this gym if they really want to train. And by training, we want progressing training, not just to do an IG post a day while they're in there.
Yeah, if you want to train and train properly, well, not just train. No, I don't want to say train properly, but if you're not going to this gym for the community meeting.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the community thing, I feel this gym's got a stronger community spirit than the gyms that we worked out of.
it does have a stronger community spirit, but that's due to the training that goes on.
Yeah.
Everyone that goes there trains.
Yeah.
Really, and then like we all get along, we go out, and that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
And there is a really strong community spirit there, definitely. But
we talked about this as well. Like, so Leon and Manny are the two of the guys who we often talk about with the gym, right?
Yeah.
And Ross, forgot. And I think Leon and Manny and Ross really got something really right on here. I mean, the way they set this gym up and the people they attract in this gym and how friendly and how community spirit it is, you don't get that in many gyms, man.
No, you don't.
Especially in a fight gym, they've just got that balance right, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's really good. What they've got there is, and you don't really get much ego going on in there either. People are really humble, which is.
Once you get one or two, I mean, like any fight gym, you're going to get one or two guys who come in there.
One or two.
But they stamp that out really quick, man.
Yeah, that, like if it's there, they get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, there's no idiots. I mean, I've been to a few fight gyms. There's always going to be some alpha guy who wants to be the big dog in the background. That gets stamped out in this place, man.
Even with the like trainers and PTs and stuff, there's no real like alpha dogging or stuff like that. It doesn't really happen. And with that LA Fitness, there was loads of, oh yeah, I'm the best. Oh yeah, look at my arms, look at my legs. You know,
that was the fun side, but at the same time, it can be a negative thing as well.
Yeah, it's positive and negative. But yeah, with this, like, this gym is, it's on point. It's really good.
I think this is why they become so successful in the city with the way they run this.
Yeah, definitely.
It's, they make the gym, man. I mean, the way Leon speaks to people and the way Leon speaks to all, like at any level, man, all his students, all his clients, man.
Yeah.
You walk in, you wouldn't even know he was. Well,
that was what we said when we first started. It's like, first started, like, who's the who are the trainers? I have no idea. Who's who? But then you get to know them, and you know the whole thing. The trainers are nice, the coaches are nice, everyone, even the people that are at a high level, they're like,
yeah, nobody's like sitting on their own high horse in there. That's the thing.
Yeah, and do you know what? Everyone trains.
Everyone trains, man.
Everyone trains, and that is, and you don't get that in the
this industry. I mean, we'll be first to tell you. I mean, there's so many crap. Fake snake oil selling PT, stroke trainers, fitness instructors. Man, the stuff they do in the background, for me, that's a big no-no.
Is like they train and they train hard.
Yeah.
In fact, I had to pick up my own training game. I was like, yeah, I've got to train a lot harder now. When I started it, it's just everyone trains, which is brilliant.
Which is good, man. I mean, what do you think is going to happen now? I mean, with this COVID-19 happening with the gym?
I'm not too sure. I think it will restart again. I think everyone will be fine, but there's going to be a lot of starting from the beginning or midway. I reckon, and a lot of starting from the beginning or midway. I think we're not all going to be able to keep our clients that we had. We're going to have to get new clients. Even with my acupuncture, that will be the same as well. People are just going to want to have to say, like, even the people that are on furlough, they're only on it up until 2,500, which I know, like, you know, can sound like a lot or whatever, but it depends on your outgoings of your life. You know, if you're earning, you know, if you're someone who earns 100 grand a year, but your outgoings come to 100 grand a year, you're living on a breadline still.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, I always say this. I mean, not under this circumstances, where like most people are like two, 3 paychecks away from being on the street.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I hope this is a good reality check for all them assholes who just take the piss out of people who's living on the street. I mean, everyone's got their own problem. This is me ranting now, but all them assholes take the piss out of people living on the street. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have our own demons and problems to solve.
Exactly. So yeah, but Man, it surprised me. I know you were going on about it way before anyone.
Oh,
I was one of the people that did not believe it. I even wound you up about it.
I know you were one. I told you this
I was
is
like,
going to be a lot bigger than
I'll say to everyone, don't listen to Ken,
anticipated.
but it is big. I was even, do you know what I'm most upset about?
What?
Our dim sum Sundays.
Oh, so let's dim sum, right? I mean, I haven't been for dim sum since November just because of this. I just like, without being sounding racist, but like, I just don't want to be around people. I knew this is like a scary place to be.
Which meant I haven't been since November because of I get better service when I'm with Kev. So I'm not going.
Yeah. Well, also on this is going to be a recurring thing. So, where do you think the best dim sum place is in London?
Well, it's the one Royal China,
Royal China. Which one? The one in Canary Wharf, right?
Canary Wharf. I've been to the other one and that wasn't good.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Good. Or wasn't up to standard. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't the same standard.
Yeah.
It wasn't up to standard. Yeah,
I mean,
it was good.
We're saying this to Tommy the other day. What would you consider good? I mean, what would you prioritize? The price, the size, the taste, the environment, the location? What do you judge your dim sum Sunday on?
Yeah, it's the location, the size, and the taste.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like people who've been to dim sum in London. This is what I mean. I have to agree with Jason. I mean, this is one of my top places in London too. The location's great. Parking's easy if you guys park and drive, man. I mean, like, can't ask. You got like what, river view. In the summer, you got like fresh air outside, dining.
A day like today, you'll be out there, river view.
What's the weather like in London?
It's lovely. It's hot.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be great in there right now.
Yeah.
And
good.
Dim sum in there when they get it right, especially like the prawn dumplings, like the crystal prawn dumplings in there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. When they're salt and pepper ribs.
Yeah.
I can't get like that anywhere else.
Man, the salt and pepper ribs, it reminds me of Mum's restaurant, man. It was a similar style, and then, like, I haven't had it since my mum like kind of retired from that side of things. But yeah, those ribs are good time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was. Yeah, we got. When this is all over, and the restaurant's open, we're going straight back there.
Man, I think this is a must. As soon as this is over, we're gonna go big foodie hunting.
Yeah.
So, as part of this thing, we're gonna start getting food. I don't know, food shopping and food finding. So we're just trying to find some dim sum plays. All right, wings. You know, wings. Where's your favorite wing shop?
I'd have to say Randy's Wings, Stratford.
Okay. What's so special about it?
It's just they've got so many different choices. It's crispy. It's crispy, and it's like when I get the buffalo wings, it's actually like quite spicy. It's like the right heat, and they've got the blue cheese. If not, Brewdog are pretty good. But Randy's Wings, yeah.
I mean, that's
Randy. What about yours? What's your favourite?
Brewdog. I mean, Brewdog's one of my choices. I mean, because it's close and it's convenient from where we are. I mean, like, for us to get home is easy, man.
Yeah, I'm always up for like a all-you-can-eat Wednesday, Brewdog.
Yeah, Brewdog. I mean, I think let's get this COVID-19 out of the way and let it calm down a bit more. Then we'll definitely need to do the dim sum.
Brewdog is good wings because they got Elvis juice as well, which is brilliant there. So
yeah.
I
mean, have you heard about the whole Brewdog making alcohol hand sanitizers for I think the NHS staff at the moment?
No, what are they doing that?
Yeah, I think they stopped the, what do you call it? The usual production. I think they're focusing on just making alcohol sanitizers. I think that's great.
People have really joined together within this time. At first, it didn't seem like it, but now people have really kind of joined together.
I was surprised. I mean, like, even here where I'm at now, when the NHS clapping thing happened, I didn't expect anyone to come out.
Yeah.
And that happened
Yeah,
here too.
I looked at the virus thing today. So Europe has been most heavily hit. Why is that more than China, do you reckon?
Are we going to go
Not
into this
China.
controversial? No, China never tells the truth, man.
Okay, I don't think they're telling the truth. Why is it more, so like Japan, Taiwan, Cambodia, Vietnam,
Right.
they're not really
No, okay, look at Japan. Japan are very, very clean place to begin with, right? And when they hear things, they're scared and they will do everything in their power to keep this contained. They shut off everything, man. I mean, the people generally like are clean. That's not disrespect to the rest of the world, but they are a very, very hygienic bunch. Taiwan, if we're going to go to controversies, I mean, look at WHO. WHO doesn't recognize them as a country. And so Taiwan was doing their own thing to contain COVID-19. By doing that, they didn't follow any guideline from WHO. So they did their own thing, and they became one of the best at containing and controlling this COVID-19.
Okay.
But Cambodia, I'm not sure about the Cambodia situation, but the Taiwan thing is really politics involved. Right?
Yeah, I mean, like they're really low. I mean, China, I believe, are lying, just because of like the infection rate. Yeah.
China because of China.
Then, but Europe have been hit really bad. Obviously, the US are getting it hard now.
I don't know how the US going to deal, how the general population deals with this, man. Because they don't have a national health care, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a good point.
They don't have national health care. If you become ill and you genuinely can't afford any medical help, where do they go? And where do your general population go?
That might be why it's going to go overnight. Because they got like 2,000 people, or almost 2,000 people died.
They must have more than that. I think
1,923. No, just in one day.
Oh,
1,923 died in one day. So,
this thing is bigger than most people thought.
I didn't think it was big at all. I was like, I can't.
No, you didn't. It's not. I know you didn't. You were taking the piss.
I was like, yeah, forget about it. Guys, don't seem to care. Business as usual.
Yeah.
I was upset that I didn't actually go. I was upset we won't go to dim sum. So I was like, yeah, this guy, fucking man, can't get any dim sum now.
The dim sum thing, the situation, right? I think that's the biggest hit. Financially taking the hit and the dim sum hit.
Yeah.
Dim sum for however many months now. 5 months.
Yeah, exactly, man. But yeah, my so this has happened to my acupuncturist. He's Chinese.
Yeah.
And people just stopped going to him.
Yeah.
His business. So before even he had to like stop practicing and everything, people just cancelled. He had almost no clients.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Mr. Trump's idea of being funny or being, I don't know, he's trying to be funny, but it doesn't help calling this like China virus or Wuhan virus. Then yes, it is from China, it is from Wuhan, but a man of his power need to be careful what he says. And
they don't know if it is or not, do they? Like, so I don't know, because there's so much information going around. I don't know what to believe.
I think what we can probably safe to say it's from that region, though.
It's from that region, but there's information saying that America arrested someone that made the virus and then sold it to them.
Yeah, but then we need to get somebody else on this episode to talk about that.
Yeah, it's like you don't really know what's going on.
Man.
Yes, from that region, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't believe it's from eating a bat, though.
Oh, well, I don't know what it's from, man. Like, right now?
They must, like, the thing is, why has it just happened just from a bat when the Chinese diet is...
I think it's a cross-contamination with all the other stuff.
Yeah. Possibly. Who knows? It is quite simple.
I think what we need to do is get rid of this and then search for why it happened.
Why?
Right now, I don't think there's no point looking for the culprit right now. We know it's that area of this planet.
Well, here's the thing. It was predicted in a few things. Like, for instance, there's a couple of books that predicted that COVID-19 would happen.
We need to get our other friend on here. We need to get Alex on here for that one, I think.
Yeah, we need to get him on there for that one.
Get here
Which,
on it.
that's what makes, I think, why a lot of people are suspicious. It's like, well, are you predicting it to say it's like COVID-19 or a virus, or have you put this in, has it been made to happen?
Yeah.
Or we've been guided down this route. Who knows? But economically, it makes sense to, I suppose, for the stronger powers to fuck everyone up.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, there's other things I've been hearing from other my clients about oil prices and oil release. I don't fully understand it, but it's Saudis are playing a pretty good game to get themselves being the top boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they're flooding the market with oil, and the rest of the world are trying to control them. But with that much power and that much money and that much money to throw around, they're doing everything they can to
if you look at who's being affected quite a lot, Europe and America.
Europe and America.
No other like continents are really being hit that hard yet.
Oh.
They might, I don't know, but at the moment they're not. So if you look at it, it's like maybe it was like, well, let's. You could like, there's so many different things you could think, but it could be like.
I think this is one of the reasons why all these.
Huh?
I think this is one of the reasons why all these controversial flat earthers can talk about it, because there's so many things linking up, so many reasons why this would make sense for them to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's there's a lot of conspiracy ideas and stuff, but do you also know why that is? It's because of no government is ever honest.
No.
And that's the problem. So no one really fully believes the government because of they're dishonest. Government.
If you have some sort of common sense, you always question everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have to always question. So yeah, it's who knows? But yeah, I can't wait for it to be over.
Right.
So.
What's your view on this 5G causing COVID-19?
Oh, I don't know. So I was like, the London Real, David Ickle, yeah. So I haven't watched, or I've watched like the first.
I think that's been taken off, right? I think that's been taken off from YouTube. I think YouTube just deleted it.
Really?
Yeah,
I watched it so I watched the first half hour of it.
Yeah.
And when I watched the first half hour, I was like, he's actually starting. The problem is he's starting to make sense, but he's saying stuff like genetic material. I'm like, what kind of genetic material?
Yeah.
I want more detail.
Genetic material.
Yeah, exactly. So he's saying basically their tests test this genetic material, and he was saying it's not isolated to like one virus. This is in the first half. I'm saying they're not isolating it down to one virus. He's saying because of the testers testing this genetic material, loads of people have this material and it's not been isolated, so loads of people test as positive. Because it's basically saying the virus doesn't exist. And then he said, so basically cells get something, I can't remember what it is, I learned it in pathology, but something happens to a cell and it starts to break itself down, but also sends out signals to tell every other cell they're threatened.
Right.
And he's saying that can happen through stress, which it definitely can. It can happen through like diet, loads of things it can happen through, but it can also happen through like microwave signals, Wi-Fi signals, stuff like that. So 5G, he thinks is making this happen.
Yeah.
And people are dying because of it's telling the body to shut itself down. That's as far as I've got. Now, when he was saying all of that, I was like, it does start to make sense when you put it in those terms.
Yeah, but that has to happen, right? I mean, your cells regenerate itself.
Well, yeah, but what's happening is your cells are just killing them. It's going into overdrive.
Right.
It's just killing everything. But I'm like, it has to happen. But generally you're saying genetic material, and because of this is how our mutual friend listens to him quite a lot, because he was jumping from one subject to another quite a lot, so it's hard to follow. But so I was following it, and I was like, yeah, this is possible, but I need to watch it all the way through. And I was like, it's plausible, but I don't really know because of, do you know what? I don't know. I'm trusting someone on their say so. I don't trust this guy as much as I don't trust the government.
Yeah.
So you have to question it.
Yeah.
What I think a lot of people are doing is that they don't trust the government. Some guys come out with some kind of theory, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I believe this guy."
Yeah.
You have to treat everyone with the same. Everyone that, well, unless you know the person, or you know your person you connected with them, or you've done some kind of work, you have to treat everyone with the same sort of skepticism. You can't treat the government with skepticism, but then not treat this guy with any skepticism. And that's what people are doing. They're taking what he says as gospel. They're not doing their own research.
Yeah.
The same as people who are taking the government, what they're saying as gospel. They're not doing their research or whatever. So it could be 5G. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't looked into it that much. But what
I think we should invite our mutual friend and let's do one of these.
Yeah.
Let him talk. I think that'll be an interesting episode.
It would be, definitely. It would definitely be an interesting episode. So, yeah, I'd have to kind of watch the whole program. But like, he uses words like genetic material, but he wasn't telling me what kind of genetic material it was. And also, I heard that the tests were based on antigens and antibodies.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, if that's based on antigens and antibodies, and it's based on the antigens and antibodies that are produced towards that particular virus, then actually the test might be quite accurate.
Okay.
Because of antigens and antibodies, we have loads of them.
Yeah.
And basically, antibodies would be, if you have the virus, you're going to have the antibodies in your body to fight that. That's why me or you or anyone else could get it and not really know about it, because our bodies produce the antibodies quickly and we fought it. Then we have antigens, which are like basically an alert, or like the first defense. So they're just like going around our system now, waiting for that virus to try and enter again. But we've already got antigens, and they're like, no, fuck off, you're not coming back in.
Okay.
So, and then the test to test that if anyone's had it is the antigens. Now, I know these tests haven't been really tested through the usual rigorous testing that they get done to see if they're great, because this is a pandemic. So, like, let's just push it out, let's bang it out. So when he was saying genetic material, I was like, well, why are you not saying antigens or antibodies?
Yeah.
Because that's what they say the tests are based on.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Again.
We'll probably find out in another 20 years' time what's actually happened down here.
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, it was a virus, but it wasn't as bad as
it was a virus. This is why you're all mutating. That's why you all got like mutant X powers now.
Yeah. Apparently, they've signed a bill to give police permission to force people to have a vaccine. My little sister was telling me, if you look on the government website, there's a law gone through that police can force you to have a vaccine.
Oh.
Now, I do not agree with that.
I don't agree with that, man.
Categorically, do not agree with that. My body's my body. I should be able to decide what I want to put in it and what I don't want to put in it. You can't force someone. You should not be able to force someone to inject themselves.
The thing is, like, I'm sure, like, you agree with me, like, even if they come up with a vaccine, they couldn't have tested it long enough. Just know the side.
No, they couldn't have. And they couldn't.
I don't want to be like I Am Legend, walk around with like a fucking puppy and then end up like finding a zombie on my own. All right?
Yeah. They couldn't. That's the thing. They couldn't have tested without side effects. And right, I'll tell you one thing that I have felt since. So yeah, I know it's locked down. I know it's needed, but I felt like actually I was never free. There's no such thing as freedom in this country, or any country, because the fact that the government can enforce such rules, and I don't have a choice.
I don't know what you've gone to is taken away from you, man.
Yeah, means that there was no freedom.
No,
there was a perceived freedom. And I think if anyone was to come out of this and believe that it's our country or it's their country and they're still free, and if they abide by the rules, that's it, they're free, is delusional. Because the government could change the rules.
We're nowhere near as bad as China, but we're not completely free from it either.
No, we're not. If the government could just change rules whenever they want, which I've realised. And if this vaccine thing comes through, I think a lot more people will start to realise, oh, hang on a minute, there's no freedom here.
But then there's a lot of people don't think, do they?
Yeah, some people will go, yeah, no, we should force everyone to have it.
Yeah.
Some people like that. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Some people like their freedom to be taken away from them. It's crazy. They're like, we should force everyone to have a vaccine. Just do what the police say. Just do what they say. But that's because you get a lot of people that have, they've got faith in the police. But I'm black, so I come from a black background where when police did have ultimate power, they just abused it. Stories of like beating up, some of my family members, chucking them in a van, taking them to a police station that was 2 hours away just so they could give them a beating and leave them for a bit. It's madness. So I have a healthy dose of skepticism, and that no one should have ultimate power, where some people have lived literally the dream life, and they feel that the government are. I mean, we're lucky to be living in this country still because there's a lot of freedom. Even though we're not free, it's like we have
degree of freedom, isn't it?
Yeah, if you pull about
as China, and we will never be 100% free.
Yeah, exactly. If you think about it in dog leads, China have a chain that's that long, and it's a choke collar,
It's a choke collar, man.
Yeah, it's a choke collar. They put it in a choke collar.
Plus, you've got blinds on, you can't see shit.
What we have is like the brace around our body and the lead where you can go as far as you want.
Extendable leads.
Extendable leads. Yeah, that's what we have. China's a choke collar. We have an extendable lead.
Yeah,
that's the position we're in. But I think you have to be aware of that. And I think if you're not aware of it from this situation that's happened to us, then you're living your life with your eyes closed.
Yeah, there's no different than being in China, man. There's no different than.
Yeah, it's just that the government have found other ways to manipulate us, but it just builds.
I think we need to save this conversation with our mutual friend when he comes here.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's got a lot more to say about the situation. It'll be a fun. I think that'll be a fun, controversial episode if we do it.
Yeah, that would be fun. Invite me to that episode.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah.
Should we call it a time today? I mean, we've been here for a while now, I think.
Yeah, we'll call it time.
Call it time for today. Thanks for coming on today, and
having me.
We'll do it again soon. I mean, this has been a really good chat today, man.
Yeah,
definitely. It's only seen the snippets of what we normally get up to or talk about, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll speak in a minute. All right, thanks, man.
All right, see you later. Bye.
Yeah, buddy.